Hi everyone, and welcome to our 35th episode of the Londonderry View. And tonight's a very special night. We have Julie Huss with us from the Derry News, a phenomenal reporter that covers all the happy, positive happenings around all of our towns. And when you have to cover tough things, you cover them with grace.
You are so kind.
No, so we're very glad to have Julie with us tonight. Kirby, you just had a lot of different things going on. We're going to miss her tonight, but we're hoping we'll make her proud. And oddly enough, tonight we wanted to start with hot topics. And by the time you see this, it'll probably be in the 50s and the 40s. But right now, outside, Bonnie, what did you say your car registered at?
96 at noontime.
Yeah, mine said 95.
Very, very hot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very hot.
Yeah.
It's the humidity is up in the 70s. I mean, that's
This
crazy.
is as tame as I could get my hair today, and it's going to be bigger than all of us by the end of this night.
It's the humidity that's really bad.
Yeah, it's scary, really.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
with health issues, and
Yeah.
think of our poor kids had started school
Started
yesterday
school.
here in Londonderry. I think today in Derry, or was it yesterday?
Today in Derry.
Today in Derry. And classrooms probably at about 100 degrees, 98. And then someone mentioned today the school buses. You know, we get in our cars and crank the air conditioning.
The
even
school buses
you know,
don't have it,
but
right?
I can't even imagine
Oh my
with
gosh,
rolling. Yeah, so
a lot of schools canceled.
yeah.
I
In
think.
Massachusetts, I think.
Yeah, a
Bonnie,
lot
I've
of
heard
them.
that.
So there's no air conditioning in most schools, is there?
No.
I mean, I don't
think
think there
so.
was.
No.
but Wow.
I
it's
know
gotta
in
be hot.
Middleton, where my grandson goes, they have air conditioning.
They do.
Yeah, so he was okay today. You know, but most of the schools don't have air
And
conditioning,
how
but
can
it's a
kids
fairly
learn
new
and
school.
pay attention, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I bet
Oh
it
my
really
gosh,
makes
I don't
it so
know.
heavy. It must just drain you. I mean, it
Yeah.
drains
Can't even
us. It
imagine
must.
So we have a couple more days of this heat wave, I believe, right? And then the
Yeah.
weekend, it's supposed to get a little cooler.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's hope, you know, but yeah,
But
it's
thank
been
you. It's
crazy.
a pleasure to be here tonight. It's
you.
surrounded
Good.
by some of
Very
my
good.
favorite people.
Well, you're ours
She's so
too,
sweet.
you know. Yeah, so we're going to go back to Hot Topics a little bit. Julie, just tell us, so how long have you been a reporter for the Derry
Oh my
News?
goodness! I just had my anniversary last weekend. It's been 22 years.
Wow.
22 years at the Derry News. I started. I stayed at home with my kids for quite a few years when they were little, which was great. So I started writing a column for Chester. Chester, back when Chester was still in the Derry News, and Chester Chatter, and I would just write this little column about anything. Kind of like what you do with your column, you know, just keeping
I
up with the
didn't
town.
realize
and
that, Julie.
That's kind of what I did, and then I just kept coming to the office and dropping off my column every week.
Because you would have to drop it
Yeah,
off then, when
'cause I'd
now
be
it's an
typing
email,
typing it at
right?
home, and then one day they just kind of asked me to be like an editorial assistant. So they just gave me a job.
Isn't that,
So
you never
I
know.
didn't give them a resume or anything. I just like, here's my column every week, and it was kind of fun. And through the years, I just kind of morphed into where I am now. And
Yeah.
And when you open the Derry News, I love it that almost every article in there is by Julie Huss, by Julie Huss. But I
Well,
don't know how you do it all.
you see when you open the Derry News and it has the little masthead where it says, you know, editor, publisher, and all that, and it has Julie Huss, lead reporter. Well, I'm after everyone to change it to only reporter. But the Tribune also shares our space in Derry, so we do share a lot of material and content, you know, back and forth. So, but it's just kind of a joke that I'm going, you know, I'm like petrified wood sitting there, you know, after all these years, and I'm
You
like,
do a phenomenal job with it.
But
the
thank you, I
Lawrence-
appreciate
no,
that.
I mean, every story, we read them, we learn, we see about just the good positive things, which is,
no, there's,
really
I
nice.
like covering Londonderry. You have a very nice community, and really, really nice community.
I get the paper on Thursday in the mail now. It took a
do you?
while,
Yeah.
yes, to remember. But I enjoy the paper because your columns in it, her stuff. I mean, I enjoy the Derry News. I mean, that's a good paper.
It is upbeat. And
And that's the kind of stuff I think I like the most. You know, I don't want to chase the fires or the ambulances or the, you know, I don't really enjoy that.
morbid
So
things.
it's,
Yeah.
I like the more
The happy.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely the happy.
We have enough of that on the news.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's much better. to
Now,
him.
yeah. Now, Julie, the Lawrence Eagle Tribune and the so are they like parented together or the
We
same
are.
family?
We're all the same family.
Okay.
I'm not sure when the Derry News officially came under the Tribune's umbrella years and years ago, but through the years we've been sold and sold again, and now we're owned by a pretty large corporation that owns a lot of papers across the country.
Really?
So, yeah, so we're still joined kind of at the hip. We all share
nice.
content between the papers, and there is a Tribune staff in my office in Derry too. So there's and Rose is the editor of both Derry News and the New Hampshire edition of the Tribune. So
And Rose is considered the editor,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, she's wonderful too.
she is.
Very,
She's been with the company a long time too, a little longer than me. She started right after college. So
Oh, I thought she
Yeah.
was new to the Derry News.
no, she's been with the Tribune,
Tribune.
probably for as long as I've been with the company.
My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah,
my.
it's a long time.
Dedication.
Well, they must be good to work for if you've been there that
been
long.
We are. We're still there, hanging in there.
When did they start? Because I remember back when we lived on the Londonderry line, we lived in an apartment building, and that was like the big thing. I thought maybe it was Thursdays then too. I'm thinking Tuesdays. But the Derry News would come in the mailbox, and it was such a big thing, that. And my mom would go through and she'd cut out all the articles and
She'd cut out
save
your
them.
honor roll
Yeah,
things,
I hate to
when you were in
say
the
it,
honor
yes,
roll,
my
and
honor roll
all those little
and
things.
not so,
Yeah, we used to cover a lot more towns too, like Auburn and Chester, and a lot more towns were in our coverage area, and it kind of dwindled through the years to be just Derry and Londonderry mostly.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
So-
you can only spread yourself so far.
That's
for
very true.
coverage, right?
Very true.
That's,
So yeah, so a lot of changes through the years, but we're really an old paper, it's 135 years or something like that.
135
That's a long
years.
time.
Yeah.
My
And
goodness.
it's fun to go back and look at the really old papers. We have all these books bound of dating back to the 1800s, and you can look up really cool stuff, like when Chief Garone became the Derry police chief, and we could look back to the day he became police chief, and he was 27, and or you look, it's really neat. You can look back and see, the Alan Shepard parade was on the front page, and
I
there's
was
a lot
at
of
that Alan Shepard parade.
a lot
yeah,
of 69,
history,
and
I think it was.
it's neat that we still have those books. You should come over sometime. We'll go
I
upstairs
did
and look.
not realize
We
that.
can look up when you graduated and stuff.
My goodness.
The books go back that
yeah,
far?
yeah, we go back to late
way
1800s. Sorry, you know
My
what I mean.
ancestors. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but
though?
it's fun to have that
Maybe
resource.
we can even take a couple pictures and flash up on the blue screen so
Yeah,
that
that'd be
everyone
fun.
could see them. I didn't realize you had those archives.
We do.
In there.
If you ever need to research something, come
My
on over.
goodness.
If you have a date or a
That
time
you're trying
frame,
to look up?
yeah,
Yes.
they're all
Boy.
upstairs.
Well, now you wonder, so 50 years from now when the Londonderry View is going strong.
And we can put all of our high school pictures up behind
Then
us.
we could do that too. That's right. And then people will be going to the Derry News, which will be like 170 years old then, and look up about our debut. And
It'll be there. It'll be there. Don't
Isn't
you worry.
that something pretty? I didn't realize that though. Yeah.
Are you from Derry?
No, I'm from central Pennsylvania. I'm actually from, if you were paying it, well, I don't know if you were, but the Little League World Series was just on this
Yes,
past week.
yes.
That's the town I was born
Oh,
in.
really?
Yeah, I grew up right near there. And
We've been by there.
Have
I know.
you?
Yes, the John.
right
very
down on
big
Route
baseball.
15,
Yeah.
going in through Pennsylvania. Yeah, we used to go there as kids and watch the World Series, and when you're like junior high, and all these teams came from all over the world. And
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Little small town Pennsylvania, that was a big deal. So it's a pretty big deal.
And you still go back there quite a bit too when you
Quite
can.
as often as I
vacations,
can.
When you can.
I have quite a bit of family still there,
Still
but
there.
yeah, I try to go back a couple times a year. Yeah, but we moved up here in the mid '80s. My husband was traveling for work, so we landed in Derry, and then we landed in Chester, and that's where I am, still there.
Very good.
So
Yeah.
you have a newspaper in front of you right now,
Yes.
and we were going to talk
yes.
about John McCain,
Yeah, it's we all know this week
the
we-
passing.
talking about other things that happened this week in recent days, and we all know, of course, of John McCain passing.
Right.
And really, I think it's wonderful that the flags have been lowered to half-mast, which is honorable, and you know, for a great
Definitely.
man. And just for another newspaper too, the Union Leader this morning, I think we were all just, I mean, just very impressive. You know, what a great picture, and I love it. Says an American hero, and then Granite State's love affair with McCain, the stuff of legends. And you know, it's just a beautiful job that they did. And, you know,
Nice
you can
article.
just, yeah, see the
Yeah.
pride, and you know,
Yeah.
definitely someone that gave 120+%
Yeah,
to
definitely.
everything.
Definitely. And everything he did,
I agree with that.
everything.
Yeah.
They had a lot on TV, you know, this
Yeah.
week all about when he was a prisoner of war and the pictures and him talking to people. And something I never realized, he can't raise his hands
Yeah.
above like
Right, he
this
couldn't-
level
yeah.
because of being so
The torture.
That is
tortured.
unimaginable.
Yeah.
To be a prisoner of war for 5 years.
5
I
years.
cannot fathom
And then you
that.
toss in that
And
he
to
was
survive.
given the option, losing my voice, that he was given the option at one point to leave, that that they were going to release him, and he just decided that no, when all of my
Right.
my men and my friends can be released, then I'll leave. And I think he stayed an additional 2 years because of that, which I don't know what choice I would make. That's
Yeah.
pretty tough. You know, you hope you do the noble, you know, thing as he did, but that, I mean, you're beaten, you're starving.
Yeah.
You know, you wonder if you're ever
Tortured.
going to see your family again, and
Yep.
you know, it
That
just,
It
just
is so very sad.
oh my
Just
goodness.
proves what a guy he was, what a great, what a
Yeah.
great moral fiber he had, and what
Really.
his character was like.
And love of America.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, everything that he
Unbelievable.
did was just for great pride in being an American, which we
Yeah.
need. You know, you just hope that many more people will pick up where he left off, because we've reduced that so much, and that's what he was all about. Proud to be an American,
Yeah.
and how he could serve the country. And I didn't realize that his mom is still alive.
I heard that too. I'm like,
106
106 years old.
106 years
I said,
old.
what?
Wow.
Cow.
I couldn't believe that.
Holy cow!
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
something.
imagine, but you know, I wouldn't even
Wow.
think. You know, and I believe John was 82. Was that correct?
Yes, he
82.
was 80.
I think his birthday was this week, or
Yes,
one
yes.
day this week is his birthday.
Wow, my goodness! But
Yeah.
good man.
And I just also read today that, I mean, I think he's still in Phoenix. They're bringing him back to Washington, and he's going to be buried in Annapolis at the Naval Academy.
That was
But-
his request.
Yeah, and he's going to be buried next to his best friend from the Navy, from the Naval Academy. I'm like, that is really nice.
Julie,
That
I
is.
hadn't heard that.
So
Oh,
just part of his plan for the way
Yeah.
he wanted
My
things to be, because I
goodness.
think he had everything
He had it all
pretty
planned
well.
out.
Yep, pretty well planned out, and to end in a space next to your best friend like that,
Yeah.
that's
my
great. I love
gosh,
that.
Boy. And he even wrote a letter, you know, to us as Americans,
Yeah.
you know, saying that he hopes we continue to do great things and to love the country. And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, how do you have the thought to do that?
The
at
last
that
year of your
difficult-
life, to know that that's what's happening to you, and to just be able to put those words down like that,
Yeah.
to make us all, you know, to comfort all of us.
Right.
And
And with
Special individual.
Yeah,
I agree.
very.
You know, John and I had a wonderful opportunity once to go to a house gathering for him when he was, you know, running for president and all of that. And so we went into the house party, and you know, we were kind of on the outskirts of the group and all. And then when it was over, he was trying to, like, you know, make contact with everyone. And then someone asked him something, and he put his arm around me, and he thought that I was the woman of the house, I guess, you know, that was hosting it. And I didn't know that. I didn't really know, honestly, who the woman of the house was. You know, we had just said, oh, you know, come stop by this house.
just said, yes,
No, you, I can believe
John
that.
probably would have
Just play
liked that
along.
story, right? But and I was kind of like, you know, we're taking pictures and all, and it wasn't the right time to say, you know, it's not me, you know, it was just, but
just
you know,
went along
and
with it.
afterwards, like, you know, I kind of whispered to him, and he, you know, we both kind of shared a, you know, a good smile and a hug, but what a great guy, you know, and then he really credited the people that had brought him there.
that's
and,
like
you
a
know,
joy, one of the joys of living in this
yeah.
area too, that you're able to be so close and up close and close to these
Every-
candidates. When he was running for president, I mean, he's at a house party, and we're so lucky to be able, they're so accessible here in southern New Hampshire.
I had
So-
seen him at the Atkinson Country Club. I went over one morning when he was there to hear him.
And it was probably a small venue.
Yes, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness.
one time, this goes back many years ago, my husband was flying home, was sitting right next to him, but didn't know who he was till the flight ended, and then he found out, and he goes, "Oh my God, I could have asked him so many questions." And so he was kind of kicking himself because he didn't realize that he was sitting right next to John McCain.
Because you wouldn't think that, you know, again, that approachable, like you wouldn't
Yeah.
think that John McCain would be next to you.
That's
in
sitting
the
in
plane,
coach.
You know, in coach, that's
you
right.
figure he'd be flying first class or business.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty amazing. But
amazing.
yeah, but Julie, as you were saying, with all of the candidates that come through here, it's such an exciting
It's
time.
a busy time and an exciting time, and depending on, I mean, there would be times when there would be like 3, well, I can remember 2016, that year, President Trump was up at Pinkerton, to the masses, you know, thousands of people, and then they sent me to a backyard in Derry to hear Scott Walker, the governor from governor Wisconsin, maybe. So I'm in the backyard by this beautiful little pond, listening to him on someone's deck. You know, meanwhile, right up the street is Donald Trump, with thousands of people lined up outside. So it was like, it was always
Only in New
something,
Hampshire,
always something like that.
Hopping and, you know.
Or, you know, someone's in Marianne, so get down there and take a picture. So we'd run down the street. Yeah, it was cool. You know, it's through the years there have been really cool things. Like George W. Bush, when he was running, he came into the Derry News one time and asked to use the men's room, which I'm like, okay, you know. And then the people were just popping in, or they'd come in to talk to the editors, and you know, there was maybe one reporter allowed in the room, and I'd be outside because it was never me. But that's okay. Just when they wanted to go toward the men's room.
Yeah.
But it was exciting because they were just like, there they are.
So
regular
George-
people off the
Regular
street.
people.
So President Bush Senior or
George W. Younger one. Yes.
younger? Isn't that? I can't
Yep.
imagine that you're sitting there working and then
Yeah,
hey,
where's-
can
I was
use
just
that?
walking by. I was
doesn't
heading
that
probably.
sound like him
I was
too,
heading to
right?
the candy jar probably and waiting to get. You know, we have this candy jar. It's very bad. There he was. Yeah, it's cool. Just how you interact with these people
Yeah,
that
very
go on
down
to do
earth,
great things.
that go on to, and Jeb Bush was at Marianne's
Yep.
one day, wasn't he?
Yep.
That's, I remember.
And the Halligan Tavern had many people. And
And
the
then-
Opera House was really,
I was gonna
that
say,
was that was a crazy
Hillary,
night.
Hillary Clinton was there, wasn't
Yep.
she?
At
Anderson
Marianne's
Cooper.
also?
Oh, Opera House.
Oh,
Opera
at the
House.
Opera House.
Anderson Cooper came to town. Everybody was all excited. They were pretty excited about Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
So yeah, that was big time.
Yeah.
And speaking of political figures, we had our interview with the governor.
Kathy, that's
Another
our
very
husband.
accessible man,
Oh,
very
my
down to
goodness.
earth.
So
Boy.
down to earth. I was really impressed with that. He was
Very
nervous to be on our show.
Yes.
And I'm like, really? Like you're in front of all these people all the time.
Why, was he really nervous? Did he just say he was
I
nervous?
don't know.
Or he probably didn't look nervous.
I think he just probably didn't know what
What he was
What you were gonna
expect,
say to
what
him?
he was
because
getting
the
into.
Londonderry View and the senior barbecue night
Yeah.
and the
Oh, because
kickoff
he had
to
just
home
walked
days.
around and met all those
Yeah.
wonderful people.
He
Yeah,
did.
and,
He did do
And,
that.
to his credit, when we first started the Londonderry View, we contacted him, and within like 2 months of us first starting, they got right back to us. They had a date,
Yeah.
and then a passing in our family, and we had to cancel on the governor, which was crazy. And then, but it's always been in the works. And then he came.
Finally.
And, yeah,
Which
and
is, yeah.
never in that 2-year period really forgot about us. Not that we let anyone
great.
forget about the Londonderry View.
The day we ambushed him
We
over at
did,
the
we did,
at
and
the
he
PD.
laughed, and he was supposed
Remember
to be,
us? We're the ones that ambushed you at the PD before he was to
Yeah.
go in and do his little
Yeah.
speech
Yeah.
there.
And I think he loved it. He probably gave us 5 minutes, like just,
Yeah.
and we're no one's just kind of like,
Yeah.
hoping to get a wave and a, but yeah, very, very
No,
nice.
he's very personable.
Boy, very, very, very,
Very,
Yeah, I
very-
enjoyed that
yeah.
interview with him.
that was,
He really was. He's really a good guy.
he really,
I mean,
good
he's
guy, that's
just,
right. Trying hard, trying to do
down
the
to
best.
earth.
Yeah.
I was
type
just
of
watching
guy.
him in the parade route at Old Home Day.
Wasn't that
Like
something
he's
to,
just you know how Old
jogging
Home Day
down the
parades this type of season. They're full of candidates, of course, and he's just bounding down the street and he was shaking hands with everybody and little kids, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Chris. Hi, I'm Chris," and he
Oh my
kept
God.
Yeah.
and he was real.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
very
that when they're just
approachable. Yeah.
approachable with the
Approachable,
crowds
yeah.
and
Yes.
greeting
And
people.
that
That's
night
neat.
that we interviewed him, as soon as we were done, he had to go pick his son up from football practice.
Yeah, he did.
So-
That's right. And yet he's still like his assistants and aides were trying to gently nudge him. But
Yeah.
he was there for the people,
Yeah.
you know, and
Because they are on a tight schedule, I'm
yeah,
sure.
they
Yeah.
have to be.
That's
It was
what they
it was great
said.
though that he was able to go talk with all of our seniors, and I'm sure they all told him what he needs to be doing, what he needs to fix, what he's
Sure
doing
they did.
wrong. Yeah.
But it was good.
It was a great show.
Yeah, it was a good show with
Yeah, it
him.
really was. And Julie, you were there. You always come out, you know, for
I
all
was
the
there.
good
I should have
things.
stayed longer to listen more. I was, well,
Probably running
Bonnie
off to
will
the
appreciate this. I was doing my herd around town question with the Londonderry seniors, so I found a table of the like 5 that I know.
Uh-huh.
It's Lucille,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
always asks me, "What's your question this week?" I'm like, "Okay, that means you're committing to helping me." So, but yeah, I roamed around. I saw some people that go to my church. Then you know, that's a great night. That's
It
senior
really
night's
is
so
a
much
nice
fun. Old Home
night.
Day is just the
Yeah.
whole schedule is wonderful.
Even the rain couldn't hold us back. You know, our fireworks got rained out on Friday, which happened last
But
year.
the rain really held off for the parade and all Saturday. It didn't
Yeah,
do
right to
much
the end
until
of the parade,
yeah.
which was, and it
that
didn't
was a
damper
good thing.
spirits. No,
Yeah.
that
That's
was
really nice.
Yeah,
I loved Andy Mack driving his tractor.
Wasn't that?
That was very cool.
Yeah, that
Seen
really
pictures
was.
of that,
And the
yeah.
Shriners and the clowns.
I love when the Shriners
I zipping around. And
That's
Zipping
quite a
around
that's
little
quite a
cars.
talent to be able
Oh
to
my
navigate
gosh.
those little vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Because
people
they're
so
really
close.
zipping along.
Yeah,
I
they
always
really
like
are.
that as the best part of the parade. Yeah, I do. And
I
I
also
also, like the kids all marching the
Oh
football
my
players.
goodness! And the little cheerleaders, the
Yeah,
little football,
all the
and the
kids,
mom and
yeah.
dad's coaches, just you know, kind of like proudly, you know,
Yeah.
nudging them along.
That's a lot of work, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
that committee must. I mean, I know they start right in.
You know,
One
Julie,
ends and then they
that's-
start right
yeah,
in. I
they
know.
do. They don't stop.
So much work, I bet.
Yeah, January is going to be the first meeting because I'm heading up the barbecue next year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be wonderful,
I'm
Kathy.
taking
That's
that
excellent.
over, so
That'll be
um,
great.
that's the first meeting's January to get that
Oh my
underway.
gosh, that's
So I've already got the ideas. Everything's been
going.
swirling
That's
around.
going to be excellent because you
That'll be
know, you know
Yeah.
exactly what'll be enjoyed, and that's going to be great. And a shout out, you did. I didn't think of this on my own, Julie, but when you just said about the work of the parade and Kathy Wagner, and I know there's a lot of
I
people,
love Kathy.
but
Oversees
a
all the
shout out to
committees.
Kathy
Kathy Wagner.
who, you know, she is the one that orchestrates every committee, every event. If something goes right, I think we often forget to say, "Hey, Kathy, great job." And but when it goes wrong, you know, she's the one that gets the calls, and you know, how come this or that, and so many other good people could be. You know, I wish we had a list, but
Yeah.
you know, but it's just an incredible undertaking to pull off a parade like that. And it was
She
a nice
approached
long
me
one.
there, and she wanted me to join. She says, "Could
Join
you
the committee?"
please join my committee." She says, "Think about it," and I said, "I'll think."
You'd be
And
You would
Bonnie's
be
still
good.
thinking.
I
How
said,
big is
"Yeah."
the committee? How many? I mean, they must just kind of numbers
There's
must
not that
change.
many of
No, 'cause
them.
it's- I think it's
Maybe
somebody
it's
that
changes,
seven?
it drops. Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
that does the
changes.
parade,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
she was doing the picnic, or Janet was
Yeah.
doing the picnic, and now Janet left. So
Yeah.
I'm going to fill that spot.
That'll be great.
And then
right?
whoever organizes for the fireworks.
Yeah.
And,
And the
She
fire
does
department.
all
She-
that.
she
She's
really
the
does.
head of
well, she's
all
the head
that.
of the committee, but then
Yes.
she's got people that
Yes.
subcommittees and
subcommittee.
orchestrates.
And she's
So I
got the
don't know.
baby.
Yeah, the baby contest.
Yeah,
that's
because
right.
we've had a few seniors do that
Yeah.
over
To
the
judge
years.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does the judging.
That's a
Because
hard thing
that
to judge.
started
Oh, Julie,
years
I've
ago.
judged that a
I
couple
did
times.
too.
Yeah.
I wanted to
It's-
I was putting like
Oh,
whatever the
me
top
too.
number was. I was giving them
Oh,
all the
me
same
too.
number. I'm like,
Yeah.
It was the
10,
hardest
10,
thing.
10.
Because how do you not look
Yeah.
at
I
every
had
little
a baby
baby?
and
baby.
shoes.
And
I
the
Yeah.
poor
couldn't do that.
parents are behind you. You're
Yeah.
that tough, you know. They're behind you, like so hopeful and
Yeah.
smiling, and try. And then if the
And you're
baby
like, oh.
cries,
That's-
that's a tough one. It
yeah,
really
that
is.
is.
You know, I wish we could have them all in the parade somehow, all of the contestants,
Yeah.
you know, to give them a little recognition. And but yeah, but
Yeah, that
a
was a
lot of
hard
good
one.
people that were. And then I think what's so great about our town and many towns in New Hampshire, there were so many people that where there were holes where people couldn't make it or to do their people jumped in to help. And I mean, I have a few people in mind, but you know, not to say any names, but would just happen to be there at the start of the parade. And it's like, hey, okay, I'm going to orchestrate this,
Right.
and then at the other end, and then you've got Kevin Smith, our phenomenal town manager, who's trying to keep everything together with our counselors and up there on the stage waiting for the parade.
That
And
was a close enough
announcing.
to hear, like, I mean, I was
Oh.
down by the Grange, so I kind of couldn't hear everything that they were saying from
was
the
being said.
the reviewing stand or whatever they call it. I did like, after the parade was over, well, I love the bagpipes. Now I know, and
Oh,
I
I
know
do
Patrick
too.
Cheatham's out there with his bagpipes, which I think you should have. This is my idea.
Have Patrick
You should
on.
have
Go,
people
Julie,
on your
go.
show
Good.
that do town jobs. But what do they do in their spare time? He's out there being the bagpipe master. So I
Good point.
no, I think I just love to hear the bagpipes go by, and then he was up on the stand doing his little video, and I thought that is cool. You're a police officer. He's so nice.
The lip sync and
Yeah.
Police officer, and you do this wonderful bagpipe playing, and that is not an easy instrument. I bet to play.
And he'll go just about anywhere to help people
So
out.
maybe
Yeah,
we should
he's
have
great.
Patrick on.
Maybe you just gave us an idea, and then and
another
actually,
Let's see, what else can I tell you to do? Oh, no,
well, and Julie too, like what everyone's going to find out here in a few minutes is that just as Julie said, you know, the hidden talents. What do people like to do when they're not
This is a
reporting,
segue
when they're
into
not,
my-
you know, running different things? And Julie actually is also known for having an exceptionally beautiful voice, and she even offered to sing for us here in honor of John McCain a cappella, which I can't even
well,
imagine.
we'll see how that goes, Sherry, because
So,
my pitch pipe is over there in my purse. So if you start on the wrong note, no, don't worry. I'll do my best
You're going to be
to honor this
phenomenal.
wonderful American.
Yeah, this is, I think it'd be quite a nice way to end our show.
Yeah.
And Bonnie too. One thing we did want to bring up as such an important topic: elections. Our primary is coming up September 11th, and we've really been trying to put a huge push on getting people out to register to vote first of all, and then you got to come on out and vote on the 11th, and we'll help you in any way we can. But Bonnie was bringing up some really interesting
Yes.
things about the New Hampshire state primary, which just before we started, we all kind of said, "Hey, we got to talk about that."
Yeah.
So,
Her,
And
one,
I
of, one of
think-
her pet peeves.
Well, a pet peeve.
Yes, a pet peeve is I'm an independent.
You
Okay?
vote, right.
I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I vote for people, not parties. Now, when you go to the polls for the primaries, you have to declare whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Now, when I go this time, it makes it hard because, first of all, I like some Republicans because I'm not a party person, I'm a people
I
person.
agree, right? Absolutely.
And I like
that. I
some
do
Democrats. And it's not fair that I have to make a choice of which one I want, a Republican or Democrat. I know I can go back and change to an independent, but doesn't help me out when I'm going to vote. So if there's a Republican I like and a Democrat I like, I have to choose which one
for
I
different
need.
positions.
Right, yeah, they're different positions. They're not the same, running for the same thing. But I have to make the choice of what I want. So a lot of times, me as one person, as an independent, will say, well, I'm not even going to go because I like them both. So why do I have to go and vote for one, and then I'll feel bad if the other one didn't get the help that I promised to give him?
That's right.
So rather than to go, I just would decide to stay home and not vote. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like that.
I think you're right.
That if you are listed as an independent or undeclared, whatever they call it now,
Undeclared, right?
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
there should be a third ballot
For
with,
all of us.
with everybody. Or,
Right.
because, I mean, not everybody's a Republican. Not everybody's a Democrat.
No. We've had a lot
And
of
to
Yeah, go
me,
ahead.
it's your choice of what and who you want to vote for, not party choice. It's your
I
choice.
agree. You put that
And
beautifully,
that's
Bonnie.
You did.
Right.
Bothered me for years.
And you should bring that up with Chris Sununu. Say, what's the process to change this procedure? Because there are other states that do not
Right,
work the
there
way New
is.
Hampshire
And it seems
works.
like
So-
then the undeclared voter is feeling like, where do I belong in this primary? What
Right.
do I do? I'm a well-informed voter, but I like things about both sides of this.
Right,
this
of
coin
different
here.
things they're running for. I might have somebody that I really like, and somebody I really like as a Republican or really like as a Democrat. So what do I do? Do I not go? Do I just pick a ballot? I mean,
Do I just try to feel who needs my vote the
vote
most,
more. Yeah.
and then just go in and vote for that person?
Yeah, but it doesn't always, but then it's not, you're not being honest to yourself or to the person. Like I couldn't go up to somebody that's running and say, I love your format, you got my vote. And to the
On the
Democrat
Republican,
one,
yes,
say the same thing, but yet only be able to vote for one of them. And then when you see them, you feel like a fool.
Yeah. Excellent point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one voice, Bonnie, like you're saying now, that can make that
But there's
change.
probably
you
so
know?
many people that feel
Yeah,
that
feel
way
that
and
way.
just don't say it.
I'm sensing a news article in this lady's.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
just
yeah, I
thinking,
was
do you
just-
does the do towns kind of gauge the independent voter that comes and has to change their party for this short time? Because, you know, it's like I said, there's doesn't seem to be a place for the independent voter to fit into the primary.
When you think about it. And the other unbelievable part of it is we've got a lot of calls and emails over the last couple weeks, people saying, now, you know, if I'm registered Republican, I want to change to a Democratic Party now. And as of June 5th, which how do you come up with June 5th? You know, you cannot, and I feel so horrible. All of the clerks, you know, say, no, sorry, you know, by June 5th, you had to declare whether you're going to stay Republican or Democrat. And then you have to go right into the primary. If you were a Republican on June 5th, that's what you have to take the ballot of. And then not even right at the end of the election, the next day you're permitted to come in and change back to an independent. Wow. Excuse me, not an independent Republican or Democrat.
Whatever.
Independent we can,
Yeah.
as soon as, let's say, I take Democratic or Republican, right before I leave the poll, I can change back to an
Right.
independent status, which is, but June 5th,
Just that
why?
extra step, though, to have to do
Oh,
that.
it is.
Even
Yeah.
though, okay,
It
now I'm
is.
going to change
Yeah.
back to where I want to be.
Yeah. And a lot of the candidates haven't even started, you know, getting their views out there, having the House gatherings June 5th. You know, that's all been happening now throughout the summer, and you know, so it's a.
So you don't know by June 5th.
No, a lot of people
Shouldn't.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just assume, and you can't blame them. Like, well, it's still 2 weeks before the primary. I can probably just switch now. Now I want to go, but you can't. And it's part of our New Hampshire laws.
Yeah.
But the good news is that people make change, and if we bring it to our reps and to our governor, and they know that there's a voice out there that, you know, thinks this needs to be changed, great things. I mean, just look at even the judge who just changed the absentee ballot process, that we can no longer reject ballots because of a signature, absentee ballots. So, you know, change does happen.
Yeah, it
when,
does
you know,
happen.
and Bonnie, you just said that beautifully. I think we should send a little clip of this, as you said, Kathy, to the governor and to
With a little
and to
picture
our
of it.
reps. Absolutely, yeah. Cheers to Bonnie. That's right.
It's bothered me for years.
No, that's
So what have you done in past years, though? Have you had? I mean,
I-
have you thought
there
about
has
this for
been
years? Have you
times that I
have you had to
didn't
pick?
go. I didn't
just
go
think
and vote
that's
for the
just-
primaries. It's like I
just
can't do it. I can't look somebody in the face and say, "You've got my vote. I really like you. You've got my vote. I really like you." But yet, I can only vote for one of them.
Yep.
And like I say, they're different office. It isn't like I'm
right. Because at first when we
know,
were, absolutely,
yeah,
Bonnie.
and it's kind of easier than to lie to them to stay home and
Is this
not
a really
do it.
old rule that's in the state
Oh, I'm
books?
sure it
that
is. Yeah, absolutely. A lot
But
of them.
it's
Yeah,
a-
part of
so
our
maybe
we need to
history.
get a
Before there
petition
probably was
started
even
Yeah.
more
Before-
undeclared
and then take it
voters.
to the state reps. Take it to Mr. Baldessaro.
Yep, because they
Nail
really
that.
will go to bat for us. and,
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
it's a big thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to realize how many people are independents and
Yeah.
think that way.
You know, and I didn't really even think of it for myself as an independent until we were talking about it before the show.
Right.
And you go, oh, you know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
really something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, and
but
sometimes I forget, like, I mean, whatever I'm registered as, but sometimes I forget that when you go to the
That's
polls
very-
on
yeah.
primary day and they're like,
Yeah.
you have to take this ballot. I'm like, oh, that's right.
and that is what's said. You're right,
But
Julie.
then, you know, in
yeah.
November I can do whatever I want, but in the
Yeah.
primary I can't.
But by November, the person
person
that
you
you might have
love
liked
might not even make the cut. You're
might
right.
not even make it
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. But Bonnie, great point, and
It is a good point.
and it'll make other people aware of it too. Maybe it'll snowball, which is good. Very well put.
Or maybe we
but-
should have our town manager put it out there on Facebook, and it'll
Yeah.
snowball and go viral.
That's true. Like
Like the
Like
deli
the-
meat.
like
deli-
the deli,
the deli
meat.
meat.
I was
Yeah.
very impressed with
Yeah,
the deli
that
meat.
I was so happy because how many times have you done that, right?
Oh, constantly.
You go home
Rip the
and then you
bag.
have to pull out another Ziploc bag out of your
That was the
purse.
funniest
That
thing.
was
I love that. That was
amazing.
great.
I
That
thought it
was
was
a
great
yeah,
story.
that was really good, and then it made the paper.
Yeah, that was great. And
That
the
was
governor
funny
jumped
because
on.
I asked my daughter, because she lives in Middleton, Mass. I said, when you get your deli meat,
Take a survey. What do you think about
she
this?
says, no, she says, we don't have to.
Rip it off.
No, it's on the,
It's on the package, but it's not where they fold
Right.
the,
It's
the
not where
zip
they
top
fold it.
over.
Talk about one person making change,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One voice,
Simple
but
things can happen.
yeah, that was.
So for our local food stores, that was a definite positive.
Yeah,
because it was
definitely.
aggravating.
'Cause
You
it is
think, why
aggravating.
do they do
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
You know?
because then you have to take it out of that bag and put it in another
That's
bag.
right, yeah.
It's so foolish.
Yeah, and for so many of us, I think I never questioned it. I would always rip a hole in the bag,
And just growl at home and no one
growl
would
and
hear us.
complain,
That's
and
right.
yeah, that's exactly right. And then, but again, it's that so often the reason we keep doing things is because that's why we've always
Yeah.
done it. And but how and then someone just says, Kevin sends out a tweet like, why are we still doing this?
That's the power of a simple.
Yeah, so
Sweet, wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was great stuff. But Julie,
Yes?
do we have anything else tonight, girls?
No, I
And,
think that's it.
I
I
think
think we
that's
should
it.
take
No,
a
this-
break.
Julie, you're
and-
natural
This has
up
been
here.
kind of fun.
Yeah, it's
See, we
very
told you.
relaxed and
I think we should take a quick break and let
Perfect,
Julie
Kath.
get ready, and then
Thank you very much
we'll
for
end the
having me.
show.
oh, Julie, it was our
yeah,
honor.
so we'll end the show with Julie singing
yeah,
the
and a
national
tribute
anthem.
to John McCain.
Yes, as a
so,
tribute to
Our
John.
American
Yeah.
hero.
American hero.
Thank
so
you very
thank
much,
you.
ladies. I'd just like to share this song that I've sung many times for area veterans. It's one of my favorite things to do. So hopefully send this out tonight to Senator McCain and for all he did for our country. So. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was beautiful.
Thank you. That was
Thank
beautiful.
You, Julie.
Thank
Good
you.
job.